Hey everyone, welcome back to the Wii Studio, and today I'm here with a brand new video for you guys. I'm going to be talking about Big Shot Season 1, Episodes 5 and 6, titled This Is Our House and Carlsbad Crazies. So, overall, I have been enjoying this show so far. It's been lighthearted, it's been fun, and yeah, I've really been enjoying it. Like I said at the beginning, I'm going to be doing bi-weekly recaps, which means every other week I do a recap. So we have 2 recaps left after this, save for next month, and I'm really excited because I really have been enjoying reviewing this series. Episode 5 was good, but episode 6 kind of turned me a little bit the wrong way, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and dive right into this. Episode 5, pretty much the plot of this is, first off, Louise has been struggling because her parents have been arguing at home, so she didn't have time to study for a test. So her and Olive cheated on the test, but they were both caught by this Kelsey girl who's like a snitch, and they both get detention, and Holly gets onto them, which really shows the difference between Holly as coach and Holly as teacher. You know, I'm kind of, it's kind of weird how, like, Marvin is, like, one side note, it's kind of weird how Marvin is, like, there all day, but he's only an after-school basketball coach. That's weird to me, but maybe because his daughter goes there. But then again, like, I mean, they're not faculty. He's not faculty, and neither is the Miss Goodwin. So that was kind of, that just a little side note that kind of just throws me off, how he's at the school all day and he acts like a staff member when he's really not. He's just a basketball coach for the girls. So whatever. So yeah, we have that going on, and the whole Louise's internal struggles. We also have Marvin trying to accept that Emma has a boyfriend, Lucas, Louise's brother, and he kicked Lucas out when he discovered that they were home alone. So obviously he's struggling to accept that. We also have these 3 other girls. I don't really remember their names, but they're kind of like spreading rumors that Holly and this Felix guy are a couple. And, you know, and that's kind of, you know, it's something, I guess they're trying to show you a lesson that you're not supposed to gossip, because it's not healthy for anyone around you. It's not healthy for you to gossip. It's not healthy for anyone else around you, especially the people who are being gossiped at. Because then their secret's going to get revealed, and then it's going to look bad on them that they didn't come sooner, and that they were ratted out by a bunch of high schoolers. So I know that's kind of deep there. But, yeah, I think what's interesting here is that these people made no secret of it. And the godson thing was a strange twist to add, I gotta say. And I don't know how old Holly is supposed to be. Probably, maybe late 30s, I gotta say. I mean, she's not young. I mean, she is young, but she's not, like, young like this Felix guy. He's probably, like, 20s, I gotta say. So I guess the godson thing makes sense, but I guess the point of it was kind of like a weird storyline, but then again, I guess the point of it is to show you're not supposed to gossip, because that's not good. So it turns out that Louise's dad gets arrested, and for I'm not even sure what, like, embezzlement, fraud and embezzlement, I guess, is the point of that, which felt bad for Louise. I really did. Lucas was acting kind of weird, like, being very, like, I don't know, but all these emotions are flooding over Louise that at the game, she can't concentrate. Like, her whole mind is spiraling to the point where she pushes a girl on the other team, so then she's disqualified. And then Holly comes after her, and there's this whole dramatic conversation, and pretty much Louise is trying to, like, brush Holly off because she doesn't want her advice right now, which makes sense that Louise would just want some privacy. But Holly actually got aggressive, which I have mixed feelings on this, because I felt like Holly, sure, she was trying to show Louise that whatever you have going on inside of you right now, it needs to cut it out. You can't let it control your life, especially on the game, because every one of us have a horrible life at times. Every one of us have something going on in our lives right now, but look at everyone else. They're out there practicing. They're out there doing a great job. So I get Holly's point, but I still feel like she was way too aggressive on Louise without knowing the whole situation. So yeah, comment down below, what did you think of that? Because Holly was saying nothing gives you the right to treat people who actually care this way. Because Holly is trying, because she could have given Louise a way bigger punishment for cheating on the test. But she gave a small punishment, but of course Louise is upset because of her whole struggle with her dad being arrested, which again makes sense, but Louise was definitely not being respectful to Holly, who was trying. But then again, I think Holly was being a little bit too aggressive in that locker room scene. So then the whole truth gets revealed that Louise's dad is arrested, unfortunately. And I think it's really, it's really sad. And, I mean, I can't relate, but I felt bad. I mean, it's not like it's a real thing. This is a TV show, but next episode, I especially feel bad for Louise. And then Holly invites Louise in for takeout at the end of the episode. So, in episode 6, which we'll talk about in a second, it really focuses more on Louise's opinion on her dad, which I'm assuming we're going to get more in. We also got a scene with her having, like, after the game, she meets with her love interest, I guess. I don't remember his name, but pretty much they're, like, flirting, and pretty much she says, she tells him about her dad being arrested. She says, you have no idea what you're signing up for if you want to, like, do something. This guy says, I've been your backup date for every dance. I've signed up for this a long time ago, which is a really sweet moment, I gotta say, for high schoolers who aren't even in a relationship. Really spoke volumes to me, I gotta say. We also have this whole Marvin and Maggie Goodwin, the drama teacher, and pretty much there's been hints because she's talked to, Lucas and Emma have guessed that maybe she has a crush on Marvin, and it turns out that she actually does. And this lady is kind of weird, I gotta say. Now, not as weird as this whole Joyce girl in episode 6, but she's interesting. But it turns out her and Marvin might actually have a connection, so that's good. That's interesting, I gotta say. In like next episode, we kind of get more of that too. But I don't really know about these two. I mean, I thought they were going to set up something with Marvin and Holly, and it's obvious because of Marvin's little like remarks about Holly not being in a relationship with Felix. It's obvious that he has some sort of jealousy going on. They put that on purpose. So I don't know. I'm hoping it's not a love triangle, but it wouldn't surprise me because John Stamos always has like the girls like swooning over him. That's just like a classic actor trait in it. All the shows that he's in, he's kind of like a ladies' man. So, and then Emma's kind of frustrated because she won one time in her life to not be known as Marvin Corn's daughter, but now she's going to be known again by Maggie. And I mean, that's an acceptable thing to be upset at, I gotta say. So, interesting to see where that goes. In the end of the episode, Marvin invites Lucas in, and we see that Marvin is struggling with everything, probably because of his dad, and he feels really bad for Louise. So that's episode 5. Overall, I think I give this one probably an 8 out of 10, a really solid episode. Moving into episode 6, titled Carlsbad Crazies. Sorry. I said this at the beginning of my video that I wasn't as big of a fan as this one as I was episode 5, but nonetheless, I think it still carries a strong volume for what this show has done so far. Pretty much this episode, we have this Joyce McCarthy, who's the coach from Carlsbad, which is a rival school for Westbrook. She rolls on in, and pretty much she's saying, because of this whole Gruzinski thing, that she wants to Westbrook to not sell their fan tickets, and for instead, Carlsbad to come in with all their merchandise, and they actually do this episode, which was crazy. There's a whole line of them. Weird, I gotta say. This lady weirded me out. Weirdest, I mean, even weirder than this Miss Goodwin girl. She just weirded me out. I think I can speak for everyone who watched this show. It's so weird when she marched into the gym and said Samantha and yelled at her pretty much and teased her, and then felt the nerve to talk to Gruzinski about her father. She doesn't have the right to do that. Marvin tried to kick her out. She teased Marvin, saying that he looked like a doll, which he does not look like a doll. John Stamos is perfectly fine, is perfectly, like, in a good shape, I gotta say. That was weird to me. I mean, he has, like, a slimmer build, but weird line. I felt like they were trying to address that as the actor for some reason. Because I think he looks perfectly fine for almost 60. He looks perfectly fine, I gotta say. He hasn't, I mean, you can see that he's aged, but he's fine. And I'm not saying that, like, in a weird way. I'm just saying. Weird remark that this Joyce girl said. Turns out that she coached Holly back in the day, but she cut her because she wasn't a good player, so there's tension there. So this lady has a lot of connections with this basketball team. Meanwhile, we kind of get the Gruzinski. Louise is struggling with everything because, everyone at school just thinks that she is a possible criminal. And that's Marvin struggling with that too. And it turns out there's a petition to take the Gruzinski name off of the gym. And Destiny, who's one of the people in the friend group, she signs the petition saying that the Gruzinski name should be taken off of the gym. And everyone gets upset at her, which is understandable because that's not being loyal to your friend. However, I didn't understand her saying she had a right to her opinion. I do understand that everyone has a right to their opinion, but in this case, that was kind of weird to me, I gotta say. Because you think about it. Just think about it for a second. Your friend's dad got arrested, and they're planning on doing something to take his name away or something like that. You protect your friend. You stand up for your friend. Now, of course, Louise's opinion changes on later in this episode, because then Destiny talks to her aunt, and she says, I think I have a right to my own opinion to choose. I shouldn't be controlled by what these girls think. And the aunt says, yeah, if they're not going to accept your opinion, then they're not good friends, which, not really good advice, I gotta say. That's not good advice on how to deal with this situation. I know I'm not an expert or anything, but I think I'm making it pretty clear with that. And then there's tension between Destiny and Louise kind of throughout the game, but eventually they do make up. Holly's speech, I really think, spoke volumes to them as how childish they were acting during the game, specifically between Destiny and Louise is little tension. But by the end, they do make up. I still feel like there needs to be some. She did still disrespect Louise, so I think that we're going to get to see more of that whole thing. Meanwhile, we have that Marvin and Maggie. She kisses his cheek in school, and you can definitely tell that they're interested in each other, so I think that's going to be interesting to see moving forward. Will they pursue something, or will Marvin decide that he wants Holly, which second one's definitely going to happen at some point. I don't know if this show's going to be a season 2 or not, but you never know. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was that this guy, and I do not remember his name, but he's in town, he's a recruiter, and Marvin wants to kind of change his direction, put him in the direction of Louise to try to get, for her to look good. So this guy comes in, him and Marvin have some past stuff, but then at these people who have been doing protests pretty much all school day, they come into the gym, and Marvin loses it and goes over there, rips up their posters, which was a very moving moment because it showed that, it showed that Marvin didn't want to do that, but he's glad that he did because he wanted to protect Louise. He was protecting her from being bullied because they were really, these people, they were being very obnoxious and it definitely hurt Louise. I would feel so bad for her to be in that situation. You have to hear people chanting, "Free your dad," while you're playing a game. That's awful. So I gotta say, Marvin, probably maybe not, it wasn't right, but because he did what he think was right, and this was nowhere near as bad as the chair incident, I gotta say, and this guy and him, they have an interesting talk at the end of the episode, and pretty much he is proud of Marvin for doing what he did, because he's proud that, Marvin stood up for himself and protected a child, which I thought was really powerful. So he says, "I'm impressed by Louise," so there's a possibility there for maybe some, thing. We also get this episode that Marvin gets a box from his father. Emma is encouraging him to open it. And we kind of there's some back and forth there because of Marvin's opinion about his father, but he eventually opens it. He gets some cologne, so that was pretty sweet. And then we see that Mrs. Grant is getting on Marvin about this whole thing and being very annoying. But Louise ends up signing the petition to take the name off of the gym, which powerful moment for her, and I do understand why she did it. Because she wants to have her own opinion too. She shouldn't have to be looked at differently because of her dad. And in this way, she's going to look better knowing that she's not a daddy's girl. And I think that really spoke volumes. So, but then the sign crashed down. and now it lays a big dent on the floor. Also, the whole kiss a pig thing was also really weird, I gotta say. Luckily, Sherilyn did not have to kiss a pig, but still pretty weird. So this episode, I give it a 6.5 out, well, a 7 out of 10. Not as good because it had some weird vibes in there, I gotta say. So I'm going to go ahead and jump off of here. So comment down below if you watched this show. What did you think of these 2 episodes? So thanks everyone for watching the studio. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you never miss a video. Thanks everyone for watching again. Bye.